Now, we have to admit that both men and women cheat. This is Naidoo, life and relationship coach. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to prevent your partner from cheating on you. Now, I know that's a really cheesy title, especially for this channel where we're talking about consciously creating epic relationships. However, when we want to consciously create these relationships, there are certain measures that we can put in place to ensure the sanctity of the relationship. To understand how we can prevent our partner from cheating, we first have to know why people cheat, what causes somebody to cheat. So to understand that, go back to when you first met. Now, maybe you went on a few dates before you met your partner. And if you don't feel a connection with somebody, then you don't really invest much time and energy into it, right? You may be looking at your phone. You may not even go on a second date. But when you met your partner, there was something special about this one person. You had this feeling that there's this connection. There's something about this person. I think this is the one. And when you feel that way, the whole world goes quiet. Now you give them your full, undivided attention. It doesn't matter who's calling or texting. Your phone doesn't exist, right? So you look at them, you see the best in them. You compliment them often. You give the best of you to them. So this is what happens in that courting phase. And then you get to that point where you decide to get into a relationship and or marriage. And at that point, we stop giving energy as much as we were, and we now shift to expectation. So now we're looking at what we want our partner to fulfill. Because, bills have to be paid, the house needs to be clean, the food needs to be cooked. When there's kids, they need to get taken care of, get to school. All of this needs to get done. And when we shift to expecting, can you see the difference? In the first instant, you were giving energy, which creates a sense of aliveness. And now we are taking energy, which leaves us feeling a little bit drained. Okay? So if we're unconscious of this, now we are in a point in our marriage or relationship where we are simply maintaining. Okay? And when we're maintaining, again, that's not feeding it energy. That's not a sense of aliveness. The number one thing that keeps people engaged is progress. So instead of maintaining a relationship, are we focused on building a life together? Are we building when it comes to ourselves personally? That means, are we constantly improving who we are as human beings? Are we focusing and putting some time and energy into the relationship to grow that? So if that is constantly progressing, then that sense of aliveness is there. So some of the ways we can look to see whether we're on track or not is, one is work. Look at how you show up at work. Are you someone that is confident, enthusiastic, you're passionate about your job, you're excited, you're really investing in it? And then who are you when you get home? Do you have the same level of enthusiasm and passion for your relationship as you do when you're working, right? Or do you come home and then, I'm just tired and I want to, have dinner, but I'm texting someone while I'm doing it, or I'm zoning out in front of the TV? How much energy are you giving to your relationship, right? Who are you in both those scenarios? Then the important one is children. Unfortunately, a lot of us have been conditioned that children come first. When you have children, it's like the marriage disappears and life revolves around the children only. Now, I'm not telling you to neglect your kids, right? Because I firmly believe that when we make the decision to have children, those kids are our responsibility. And we've got to create the environment for those kids to thrive, right? So how are you creating the environment? If we are showing our kids that We put ourselves last, we put the relationship last, and life revolves around them. So we're working, we're stressed out, and we're doing everything we can. But we're just surviving, right? So we're not taking care of the relationship. You are role models to those children. So those kids grow up and they follow the same pattern. Is that really what you want for your kids? Right? So if you want your kids to have happy, fulfilling relationships that are sustainable, then you've got to make sure that you provide that kind of role model to your child. So the two of you as a couple, how much time do you take to connect with each other? When we're living busy lives, it's very easy when one person's leaving to work, you're walking out the door and it's bye and you're gone. But it only takes 5 seconds to stop, look into your partner's eyes and say, have a great day, I love you. Or can't wait to see you this evening. 5 seconds, that's all it takes. But you've created that connection. When you come home, what do? Do you just drop your stuff and then, you can't talk because you're so tired? Or do you take that one or 2 minutes to just connect with your partner? That physical touch, that hug, the eye contact, that is what reconnects us, right? And then over dinner, what are you doing? Is the phone out now? Or are we actually taking the time to talk to each other? How was your day? How did it go? And sharing stuff that happened in your day. This is all the connection I'm talking about. And then one other thing that sounds so obvious, but most couples don't do this, is that they stop dating. So have a date night at least once a week. Again, you are showing your children what a healthy, happy, sustainable relationship looks like. You're showing them what it's like to have parents that love each other, that care for each other. And that's what they will grow up to create in their lives. Right? So this is so vitally important. It seems obvious, but it's really important. When it comes to our kids, it's not either or. We're either going to take care of the kids or we're going to have this. No, think about it as we take care of our kids and we take care of our relationship. Both of these things are important. What other things are you doing now to add energy to your relationship and give energy to your partner? Do you tell them how valuable they are to you, how much you want them in your life? Do you really see them? Do you acknowledge them for the contribution that they are making to the relationship? All of these things are so vitally important.